Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So we'll start our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharon Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. So yesterday we completed the 8th chapter of 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we saw how in this canto, when Vidura he was thrown out of the palace by Duryodhan, so he went to all the pilgrimage places. Then he met Uddhava at the Yamuna, and then he asked about the dynasty of Krishna and dynasty of the Pandavas. Uddhava went into ecstasy and he explained all the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, in Dwarka, in Mathura, in Hastinapur. And then he told Vidura that how when Krishna he was about to leave this planet, so then Uddhava went to Krishna and he said, I cannot leave without you, please take me also. So then that time Krishna gave this instruction in the form of Uddhava Gita, and then after that Uddhava said that I could not tolerate the separation from Krishna, so I followed Krishna till Prabhas. And then in between all the Yadu dynasty got annihilated by fighting amongst themselves. Uddhava told all that. And then Uddhava, he approached Krishna. Krishna told him, you go to Badarik Ashram. And he told the same knowledge which Krishna told to Brahmaji in the beginning of creation in the form of Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And as Krishna was speaking to Uddhava, Maitreya Muni was also there. Maitreya also heard everything. So then Vidura, he requested Uddhava that, oh Uddhava, please explain me the knowledge that Krishna gave to you. But Uddhava, seeing the Maryada, he understood that Vidura is very elderly. Although he was competent, but he did not give any instruction to Vidura. And he told that you go to Maitreya. Maitreya also heard all the instructions. You go approach him, and you learn from him. So then Vidura went to Maitreya and asked Maitreya so many things, how people of this world can be benefited. And then he said, I have heard enough of the topics of this world, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. I want to hear pure Krishna Katha from you. And then he requested to explain the Purusha avatars and then Leela avatars also. And then in response to this, Maitreya Muni started the description of how this creation was made. And then he described the prayers of the sense devatas. And then he described how this whole manifestation was formed from the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Ultimately, then Brahmaji was born. Then Brahmaji, he offered prayers. So many things he described. And then in the 7th chapter, again, Vidura asked many questions to Maitreya Muni. He asked about, please tell me about the Ishvara. If Ishvara is supremely free from the material modes, how he is doing all this function, all this activity of creation, which involves the 3 modes. How the Jiva, who is spiritual, can get entangled in this material world, which is material. So then Maitreya tells that this is all Vidura Oh Vidura, this Jiva, he gets entangled because of the misidentification, and Supreme Lord is never entangled. He is transcendental. He never gets entangled. And then after that, Vidura, he expresses his joy on hearing the answers, and then he glorifies the process of bhakti, process of association of devotees. And then again in the 7th chapter end, Vidura asks a series of questions which were similar to the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj in the 2nd canto, 8th chapter. In response to these questions, Maitreya Muni starts the description of how Brahmaji was born from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and then how Brahmaji contemplated and he could not find anything because he wanted to know from where he has come. So he looked around everything, he developed 4 heads, and then ultimately he meditated and he saw the beautiful darshan of the Lord. So then the beautiful bodily darshan of the Lord is described, and then after that, that was the 8th chapter. And now today we'll be starting with the 9th chapter. The 9th chapter is called as the Brahma's prayers for creative energy. And very, very beautiful prayers. The whole chapter is filled with very beautiful prayers of Brahmaji. So after Brahma sees Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he starts offering prayers. So first 5 verses of this chapter describes the beautiful form of the Lord. So in this, Brahmaji is saying that, oh my Lord, you are the supreme knowable object. After years of penance, now I have come to know your glories. But people, those who are in ignorance, they do not know because they are unfortunate. So the chance to know Krishna is a symptom of fortune. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking Rama, madhye kona dukha hoye guru Krishna bhakta virah vina dukha nahi dekhi par. Ramananda Rai says the greatest distress one can experience in this life is to be separated from the devotees of the Lord. Prabhupada writes a very interesting purport. He says that he writes in the purport that there are 4 people who are most fortunate and there are 4 people who are unfortunate. Mamanaradya dukkhartham kutumba saktamanasah satsangarahito martyo vriddha seva parichyata. So this verse is spoken by Krishna directly, and Krishna is telling 4 symptoms of fortune. The chance to worship Krishna is the symptom of fortune. Mam anaradhya dukkhartham. If somebody does not get a chance to worship me, he is most unfortunate. Kutumba saktamanasa. If somebody just thinks that my family is all in all, atma jaya sutagar pashu dravin bandushu rajye chavikale nityam. If somebody is thinking that my family, wife, children, property, bank balance, relatives, cars, this is my property, and he is not thinking about the self-realization, he is unfortunate. But those who get a chance to know Krishna, connect to Krishna, they are fortunate. Satsangarahito martyo. If somebody is not getting a chance to associate with devotees, he is unfortunate. And on the other side, if somebody gets the opportunity to serve the devotees, he is most fortunate. Whoever does not come to Krishna, he is unfortunate. If he comes to Krishna, he becomes most fortunate. In the association of devotees, if he gets a chance to hear from devotees again and again, he is all the more fortunate. Then fourthly, he says, Vriddha Seva Parichutam. If somebody gets a chance to serve the superiors, he is most fortunate. So therefore, by coming in touch with Prabhupada, we have become most fortunate. But we should never feel that I deserved it. I had that qualification. Bachpan se I was so pure, I was doing all this puja. I was doing all the vrata. I was just waiting when I'll come to ISKCON, Because it must have not happened in lives of many. There are few people I know who are searching for Krishna. But for most of us, it was the mercy of devotees by which we got this chance to practice bhakti. By the mercy of the devotees, we are knowing who is Krishna. The chance to know Krishna is the most rare commodity we are getting so very easily. Outside world, you ask anybody, who is God? No idea. सब भगवान है, एक ही है. Nature is God. God is light. I am God. God is dead. All these are different misconceptions. But by coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, we have clear idea. Even any person who has spent few months in Krishna consciousness, he knows who is the supreme knowable object. Krishna. He is the Jnanam, Jnayam and Jnanagamyam also. He is the object of knowledge. He is knowledge. He is object of knowledge. And he is objective of knowledge also. So therefore, Brahmaji is saying that you are the supreme knowable object. After many years of penance, I have got to know you. In case of us, we have got it very easily. We did not have to do any tapasya. In fact, devotees were doing all the tapasya to take us to Krishna consciousness. As far as I'm concerned, I can tell you about myself. In the college days, all the seniors, they would come, they would call us, "Sorry, chalo program hai," and most of the time we would go at the end of the program. And you tell some of our friends who were there in the program, "Isse hi program khatam hone wala hoga na. Give me a call. Don't call, just give a missed call." And we would go just for prasad, khichdi and halwa. So that time Gaurang would come and he would get khichdi, halwa. That's how we came. So for us, it was really, a blissful experience. No tapasya. So therefore, we have to understand whatever we have got is diamond. Now, we should know nothing comes free in this world. Now we have to prove that we need it. Don't think mil gaya na, apne aap mil gaya hai. No. Now we have to prove that I need it, I want it. Otherwise it will go away. If we are not eager to get Krishna, then Krishna will not stay. Krishna tattva, bhakti tattva, rasa tattva, pranta, sab shikhaila Prabhu Bhagavat Siddhanta. To know Krishna tattva, bhakti tattva and rasa tattva, we have to go to devotees, we have to serve devotees. Then only we'll get a chance to know Krishna. Then only we'll get chance to serve Krishna with all faith. So therefore, here Brahmaji is saying that I am so very fortunate, but the jivas who don't get to know you, O my Lord, they are unfortunate because you are the only object to be known. And then he says, and from you, O my Lord, all the forms have originated. I was myself born from your navel. So therefore, for the sake of the devotees, you have appeared to show mercy to the devotees. Because when somebody takes your darshan, he becomes completely free from all the material contaminations. When somebody hears your glories, he becomes free from all the material contaminations. And then Brahmaji says, I surrender to you, O beautiful personality of God, and I surrender to your personal form. Natah param paramayad bhavata swarupam ananda matrama vikalpam avidhavarchaha pashyami vishwasrijame kamanantamadyam bhutendriyatmakamadasta upashritosmi. So he says, I do not see a form superior to this forms of yours, O my Lord. This personal form. So these two verses now, this is 393. In this, Brahmaji is saying, I surrender to your personal form. So this third verse and fourth verse, they are very heavy, evidences to prove that the personal form of the Lord is superior than the impersonal. And in fact, Brahmaji says very strongly in the fourth verse, what will be the destination of those who are attached to Mayavad? So in this verse, he is saying, Oh my Lord, I do not see any form superior to this form of yours. Your form is full of bliss. Your form is full of knowledge. And, there is one form of yours that is impersonal Brahman. That is also permanent. There is no change. There is no deterioration. But I surrender to this personal form. I am not surrendering to that impersonal form. I surrender to this personal form of yours, because you are the supreme controller of all the cosmic manifestations. So then somebody may ask, but why do you surrender to personal form? Then Brahmaji says, very, very beautiful verse. He says, Tadva idam bhuvan mangala mangalaya dhyane smano darashitam taupasakanam tasmai namo bhagavate anuvidhema tubhyam yo nadrita narak bhagbhir asat prasangai. So he's saying, Brahmaji is saying, oh my Lord, since you have manifested this personal form of yours, this form is Bhuvana Mangala Mangalaya. This form can create auspiciousness for all the living entities all over the universe. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto this supreme personality of yours, O my Lord, because, he says, very important, Yo anadrita narak bhag bhi asat prasangah. He says, those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell, they neglect your personal form. This is a very strong thing. Brahmaji is saying, all the Mayavadis, they'll go to hell. In short, So, yo anadrit narak bhag bhir asat prasangah. I am surrendering to this personal form, but those who neglect your personal form, that means they are Mayavadis. They will go to hell. They are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell. Narak bhag bhi asat prasangah. So you can note this verse 394. 393 and 394. They are very strong, evidences to tell that Mayavadis, they will go to hell because they reject the form of the Lord. They are not interested in the form of the Lord. So there one time Prabhupada was giving a class, and in between a class, one person stood up and he said, I am God, you are God, everybody is God. And he started giving all the, word jugglery, using word jugglery, telling so many things. And then after some time, and Prabhupada was very silent. After some time, he went off. He was just, he used all the words, and then he became silent. And then Prabhupada spoke in a very, very grave voice, like a lion. He said, you are not God, you are dog. And as Prabhupada spoke that, all the audience, they started cheering, clapping, whistling. It was like, somebody had won a world soccer. So therefore, whoever rejects the form of the Lord, there is a famous story, first time of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was with Gurudas Prabhu in Amritsar, and he was attending the one sadhu sabha. All the elderly people had come with big beards and all white hair, and most of them were Mayavadis, and they were speaking all Mayavad philosophy. Prabhupada was not at all interested in any of them. So he just got up and he was leaving. So Gurudas Prabhu said, Prabhupada, next you have to speak. Prabhupada said, I am not interested, you speak. He said, Prabhupada, I have just spent few months in Krishna consciousness. And these people, they have spent their whole life. What will I speak? Prabhupada said, whatever you know more than all these people. Speak. And then Prabhupada left. So then this Gurudas Prabhu, he went on the stage and he said, so you are saying everything is one? So is the Rasgulla on the sweet shop and the stool on the street same? So these people, these sadhus, they had never heard this type of analogy. They were shocked. They became very angry. They left. They went to Prabhupada and said, your disciple is, giving us gali. He is telling us to eat stool. So Prabhupada called Gurudas Prabhu. He said, did you say that? He said, no, Prabhupada, I was just making an example that you cannot compare the Rasgulla and the stool. They are two different things. So there is nothing like all one. So he said, oh, okay, keep quiet. So he said, okay, my disciple, Prabhupada was telling to all these people, my disciples, they are American disciples. Sometimes they give graphic examples. Don't worry, I'll chastise him. You all go. So they felt satisfied. They went. And then Prabhupada said, so what was that example? Rasgulla on the sweet shop and stool on the street. Very good example. So that's how Prabhupada said, I have come in this world for two things: to defeat these Mayavadis and to defeat these rascal scientists. That's why I have come here. So that's what Brahma is telling. Those who neglect the form of the Lord, they'll go to hell. And then he recites this beautiful prayer which is there on the slide. Ye tu tvadiya charanam bhujkosha gandham jighranti karna vivarai shrutivat nitam bhaktya grihita charana paraya cha tesham na paishinath hridayam buruhat swapumsam. So Brahmaji is saying that the devotees, they smell the aroma of the feet of the Lord through their ears. Ye tu tvadiya charana ambuj. Charana ambuj means lotus feet. Kosha gandham, the aroma. There is a very beautiful aroma which comes from the lotus feet of the Lord. Jighranti. Jighranti means they smell. Jighranti karna vivarai. Karna vivarai means through the holes of the ears. And what is carrying that aroma? There is air. Air is needed to bring the aroma. So how devotees, they smell the aroma of the lotus feet? Shruti vata nitam, by the air of the Vedic sound. So therefore, our ears can smell the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord through the sound vibration. Bhaktya grihita charana paraya cha tesham. Devotees, they have caught hold of your lotus feet. Therefore, na paeshina thiridayam buruhat swapumsam. So they are never separated from the lotus of their. So therefore, you are not separated from the lotus of their hearts. So therefore, our ears are most important. Of all the various organs which we have, our ears is the most important of all the organs. Because in Krishna consciousness and spiritual life, ears can perform the actions of all the other senses also. How? Actually, we can see through our eyes. We'll see the further verse. In the next verse, we'll see how Brahmaji is saying that we have to see Krishna's lotus feet through our eyes. There is another prayer by Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani is saying, Shrimanti gayanti grinanti abhikshna smaranti nandanti tabe hitam jana ta eva pashyanti achirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. So she's saying, Shrimanti, whoever hears, gayanti, he chants, grinanti means he contemplates, smaranti, remembers, nandanti, he is happy. What happens? Taeva pashyanti. They very easily, very quickly, they can see the lotus feet of you, O my Lord. So therefore, the devotees can see the Lord through their ears. Actually, we can smell also, just like in this verse. What the verse says? Jighranti. We can smell the aroma of the feet of the Lord through our ears. So the ears can see, ears can hear, and actually ears can function as hands also. There is one verse which says, Yasmin satkarna piyushe yashas tirtha vares sakit shrotanjali rupasprisya dhunute karma vasana. Shrot anjali. Shrot means make the ears as the cups of your hand. And just like when you have to drink water, you cup your hand. So you have to make the cups of your ears and drink this nectar of Harikatha through the ears. So ears can act as hands also. Actually, with the ears, we can touch the Lord also. Prabhupada writes in one of the purport of the verse, Yasyam vai shruyamanayam krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsam shok moha bhayapaha. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, hearing about him means immediate contact with him. We are touching Krishna. Actually, with our ears, we can taste also. Vayam tuna vitripyama uttama shloka vikrame yashranvatam rasagyanam swadu swadu pade pade. The sages are saying, we are not satisfied. We have tasted enough, but still, Pibat bhagavatam rasamalayam, drink this nectar of Harikatha. So therefore, the ears are very, very important. When we hear Krishna Katha, we can see Shastra Chakshu. We can taste we can smell, we can actually walk to Krishna, through the ears. So therefore, we have to understand these ears are very important. So Brahmaji is praying, he is glorifying the form of the Lord. And then after glorifying the form of the Lord, now Brahmaji is seeing the predicament of the conditioned souls, because he will create all these conditioned souls. So as a very genuine sadhaka, a very genuine devotee, he is so very compassionate. So he is offering prayers. So he says, oh my Lord, living entities in this world, they are in so much anxiety because of the misidentification. This misidentification causes anxiety. People in this world, they want to take care of their wealth, protect their wealth, body, friends. That's why they are filled with lamentation and distress. Hankering and lamentation, they are the two loaves of the bread. In between, there is a little pleasure. Sometimes that part is missing, only hankering and lamentation. So therefore, Brahmaji is saying, the living entities in this world, they are just hankering, lamenting. They are thinking in terms of me and mine. As long as they do not take shelter of your lotus feet, O my Lord, they'll be free. They will be full of all the anxieties. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes a very interesting purport to this verse. So this is 396. So Chakravarti Thakur says, but the devotees, if they have wives, children, wealth, are they also materialists? They also take care of the wife, children, and wealth. Are they also materialists? So he says, no, they are not materialists. Why? Because they have accepted the lotus feet of the Lord. They are attached to you, therefore they are not so much attached to the wealth. And if the devotee is attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, he will have no worries, because he knows Mare Krishna Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. Not even a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. So whatever is happening in my life, it is happening by the will of the Lord. Tattenu kampas shamikshamano bhunjanu evatum kritam vipakam. It is all happening because of my karma. But Krishna is so very merciful, he is giving me very little, So therefore, service to the Lord destroys all the hankering, all the suffering. Tavad ragadayastena tavad kar griham griham yavan mohongri nigro tavan krishnan te jana. So Bhagavatam, 10th canto also Brahmaji is praying this verse. He's saying, tavad rag adayatena. Till the time people have material attachments, these material attachments, they are like stain. Stain word has come in the Bhagavad Gita also. Yobhungte stain eva. Stain means thieves. People who have mundane material attachments, for them, tavat kara griham griham. Their home is like a prison. Those who are attached to the things of this world, for them, their home is prison. Yavan mohongri nigado. And their affectionate feelings for their family members, they are like the chains. They are like the foot shackles. Yavan Krishna nate jana. If somebody is not a devotee of Krishna, all his attachment is like the chains which will shackle him. His home is like a prison. So therefore, for a devotee, because he is not attached to the things of this world, he is liberated. One time a businessman went to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have one factory here and one factory there. I have so much of anxiety. I am not able to sleep also properly. Prabhupada said, don't worry, give us your factories and you sleep peacefully. I will take care of it. So this person said, no, Swamiji, I'll try to manage, And then he started leaving. Prabhupada said, no, please give us your address. So he said, Swamiji, I'll come again. Don't worry. So Prabhupada said, no, we should also be able to come to you. So Prabhupada was not leaving that person. So therefore, here Brahmaji is saying, if somebody is attached to wealth and family and attachment, it is like chains, So then it can be said that If that is the case, then everybody would be intelligent to surrender to my feet. Sabko pata hai, if I am attached to this world, I'll be miserable. So if everybody surrenders to my lotus feet, who will be left in this world? Krishna is thinking like this, because Brahmaji is praying that those who are your devotees, they are not attached to the things of this world, they are free from anxiety. So then Krishna may say, but okay, if that is the case, then everybody will surrender to me and they will be liberated. Then who will be left in this world? One time one person came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, what if you are saying by practicing bhakti, everybody will go to the spiritual world? And then if everybody goes to the spiritual world, this world will become empty. Prabhupada said, don't worry, some foolish people like you will always be there who will never take to Krishna consciousness. So here, Krishna is thinking, what will happen? The whole world will become vacant. So Brahmaji, in response to that, he says, no, actually that is not the case, because people of this world, they are unfortunate because they are not associating with you. Their intelligence is full of material desires. They have done so many offenses that they have no attraction for you, O my Lord. And therefore, they are just engaged in sense gratification. And then this verse, which is there on this slide, Brahmaji is saying, living entities in this world, they are so very miserable. How they are miserable? Shuttritridhatu virimam huradyamana shitoshnavata varsha itarettaraccha kamagrina sakalayo nishudahyamana sampashyato mana urukramasidate me. So he's saying, internally they are troubled. Shut, trid, tridhatu, hunger, thirst, kapha, vata and pitta. Tridhatu, they are always disturbed. Ardyamana, they are always disturbed. That is internal. Externally, what is happening? Shita, Ushna, Vata, Varsha, Itarettaraccha. Under se problem, external problem, hunger, thirst, all these bodily dhatus, they are disturbed. And outside, this Shita, Ushna, cold, wind, and then summer, then sometimes rain, all these are troubling. So these are all physical things. Internally, bodily disturbance, externally, all the environmental disturbances, and that is not sufficient. Subtle disturbances also are there. Kama, Gnina, Sakala Yonishu Dahyamana. So physical body is suffering, gross body is suffering, subtle body is also suffering. Kama Agni, they are burning in the fire of lust. Sampashyato mana rukrama sidate me. When I see the suffering condition of the people of this world, I suffer in my mind. He's saying, I have become depressed thinking, how will these living beings be liberated? So then, Garbhodaksha Vishnu may ask, why do you lament for the material existence? It is worthless. So Brahmaji says, yes, this bodily identification is such a deep, dark well that it binds the living entities. One cannot come out of it. And then he says, non-devotees who do not take shelter of Krishna, they are completely frustrated. So this is a very important verse. This is 3, 9, 10, where Brahmaji is describing the condition of non-devotees. He says, first of all, because they engage their senses in all distressful work, they suffer from insomnia. Nana manoratha dhiya shana bhagna nidraha. Their nidra becomes disturbed. They cannot sleep at night. So much anxieties. They cannot sleep at night. Nana manorath, ye bhi karna hai, I have to build this empire, I have to do this. So many troubles. Cannot sleep at night. And then another thing what happens is, Daiva hatartha rachna. They are frustrated in their plans. They want to do so many things, but they are frustrated in the plans. Even Gyanis, they continue to suffer because they are averse to your topics, O my Lord. So therefore, Brahmaji described the glorious position of Supreme Lord. He described the predicament of the conditioned souls. And now Brahmaji describes the reciprocation of the Lord with his devotees. Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavitarit saroja ase shrute kshita patho nanunatha pumsam yad yadhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tat tad vapu pranayase sadanugrahaya. So Brahmaji is saying, oh my Lord, your devotees can see you. Shruta ikshit. Shruta means ears. Ikshit means see. He says your devotees can see you through the ears. And ase. Ase means you sit on the heart of your devotees. How? Bhakti yoga paribhavit. When the heart of a devotee is filled with bhakti yoga, then you enter, they can see you through their ears. And then, yad yadhyata urugaya vibhavayanti, you are so merciful, sad anugrahaya, you are so merciful that you manifest yourself in a form which devotee wants to see you. So if a devotee wants to see you in the form of Varahadev, Lord will manifest as Varaha. If devotee wants to see you in the form of Narsimha, you manifest as Narsimha. Satyam vidhatum nijvritte bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmani adrishyatat atyadbhuta rupamudvahan stambe sabhayam namrigam namanusham. So it is described when Hiranyakashipu, he asked Prahlad, you are saying your Lord is everywhere? Is your Lord in this pillar? Acharyas say, that actually Narsimha Dev was there on the top of the pillar waiting. Prahlad Maharaj will point at which pillar? The pillar which Prahlad will point, I'll enter that pillar. So when Prahlad said, yes, my Lord is there in this pillar, Satyam vidhatum, to make the words of his devotees true. The one who is all pervading, he stambhe sabhayam, he entered that pillar, he appeared from that pillar. So therefore, as Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamiham. So the Lord reciprocates with his devotees. So therefore, Brahmaji says that, Lord is not so much satisfied by the prayers of the devatas because they are worshipping you for material benefits. But he's very, very pleased with the devotees. And then Brahmaji says that, oh my Lord, the activities of the Vedic rituals, charity, austerity, or service, if they are not performed in relation to you, they'll go vain. If these things are performed in relation to Krishna, then it will give benefit. Aradhito yadi hari tapasa tatah kim, naradhito yadi hari tapasa tatah kim, antar bahir yadi hari tapasa tatah kim, na antar bahir yadi hari tapasa tatah kim. So if you are worshipping and aradhito yadi hari, if you are already worshipping Krishna, what is the use of tapasya? And if you are not worshipping Krishna, what is the use of tapasya? So Brahmaji is saying, if somebody is not worshipping you by austerity, by giving charity, by serving, by Vedic rituals, it is of no use. Then he says, I offer my obeisances unto you, O my Lord. You are the supreme Brahman. You are Bhagwan. And then he says, oh my Lord, your holy names are so very merciful. By chanting the names of you, O my Lord, one will be free from all the sins, even if somebody is chanting unconsciously. What to speak of if somebody chants consciously your holy names. We see in the case of, Rup Sanatana Goswami, when they go to Mahaprabhu and they are, expressing their fallen condition. So Rup Sanatana Goswami, they are saying, Nicha Jati, Nicha Sangi, Kori Nicha Kaj, Tomar Agrate Prabhu Kahite Vasilaj. They are saying, we are Nicha Jati. We are from low caste. We are associating with Yavanas and Malechas. We are doing all abominable work. Tomara agrete Prabhu kahite vasilaj. We are feeling ashamed just to stand in front of you. But there is one hope for us. Patita pavan hetu tomara avatar. Amabai jagate patit nahyar. You are patit pavan, and there's no more fallen than us. There's no one more fallen than us. Jagai Madhai, they had lots of gun. So they are saying, Jagai Madhai hoite koti koti gun, adhama patita papi ami duijan. So somebody may say, Are, Jagai Madhai koti koti gun. What was the gun Jagai Madhai had? So he says, ब्राह्मण जाति तार नवदीपे घर नीच सेवा नहीं करे नहीं नीचे रकुर पर. So Rup Sanatan Goswami, they're saying, they were born in the house of a Brahmana. They were housed in Navadip. They never served malechas. एक ही गलती किया उन्होंने. They had only one पाप, one mistake. सबे एक दोष तार होए पापाचार पाप राशि दहे नामा भासे ही तुम्हार. There was only one fault in them. They were doing some pap, thoda pap kiya, what pap they were doing? They were raping, they were killing, they were stealing. Thoda sa pap kiya, Rup Sanatan Goswami said, thoda pap. Sabe ek dosh tar hoye pap. But pap rashi dahe nama bhase tumar. Just by chanting the names of you, even unconsciously, pap rashi dahe. तुम्हार नाम लैया तुम्हार कोरिला निंदन सही नाम होइला तार मुक्ति रख कारण. When they would see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they would call, Nimai, you are a very good boy, very good, you are doing nice service. Rup Sanatana is saying that became the cause of their deliverance. So Brahmaji is saying, even if somebody chant your names unconsciously, he'll get free from all the sins. And then Brahmaji says, you are the prime root of this cosmic tree. Myself, Brahma and Shiva. Myself, Shiva and, you, they are branches. So he's saying you are the root also and you are the branch also. And then after speaking the Supreme Lord's universal form and then speaking about the reciprocation of the Lord with the devotees, now Brahmaji offers prayers. He offers requests to the Lord. He says, my Lord, please empower me. Please give me that intelligence by which I can do this service. So therefore Brahmaji is praying to the Lord, please empower me. Please give me the introspection to recreate things. So therefore this prayer is a very, very important part of a devotee. We have to keep praying every day for ourselves and for others also. One time Prabhupada was giving a class and he said in the class, Maya, I will never be touched by Maya. Maya cannot touch me. So everybody said, Jai Prabhupada. Then after the class, Prabhupada went in front of the deities and he was praying very ardently. One devotee, he asked, Prabhupada, what are you praying? Prabhupada said, I am praying that I may not fall down. He was confused. Some time back you said, Maya, I'll never fall down. Maya cannot touch me. And now you are saying, I am praying that I may not fall down. Prabhupada said, yes, because I am praying, I will not fall down. So therefore, we have to keep on praying seriously, sincerely. That is the life of a devotee, prayers. So there, Brahmaji, being such a great devotee, he's praying, oh my Lord, please empower me to recreate. And then he says very wonderful things. He says, please protect me from false ego. Because I'm going to do such a great task of creating this entire universe. There are full chances that I may get intoxicated by this pride. I may become puffed up with this ego. Please protect me from this false ego. One time, Srila Prabhupada was with Tamal Krishna Maharaj in Los Angeles, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj had come back from a successful book distribution party, and he was a very powerful, empowered personality. So Prabhupada called him, and he was speaking to him that there is a spiritual universe, spiritual world, and this material world is just 1/3 of that spiritual world. In this whole material universe, there are unlimited planets. In that there is one small planet Earth. In this small planet Earth, there are so many continents. In that there is one continent of North America. In North America, there are so many states. There are so many cities. In that there is one city of Los Angeles. And in that city of Los Angeles, there are so many towns. In that there is one La Cienega. In that La Cienega, there is a church, small church, which we have now transformed into Hare Krishna temple. And in that Hare Krishna temple, there is a small Tamal. And he is thinking that he is very important, So that's how Tamal Krishna Maharaj was sharing. We should never ever feel that I am the very empowered personality. One time there was one devotee, he was taking care of the temple, he was the temple president. And Prabhupada came. And all the devotees, they came to attend Prabhupada's class. So this temple president, he came a little late. By that time, everybody had already entered the room and there was no space. But this temple president, this devotee, he made his way all the way right up to, through all the devotees, he sat below Prabhupada's Vyasasana. And then after some time when the lecture was over, so one devotee was introducing everyone to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, and then he said, so Prabhupada, he told the name of this devotee and he said, he is temple president. And Prabhupada didn't even look at him. And there was one devotee, Ghanshyam. Ghanshyam means Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, that time Ghanshyam. He was standing at the back. And he said, and Prabhupada, that is Ghanshyam. He distributes your books very nicely. And then Prabhupada said, oh, thank you very much. And then this devotee was thinking, I came right up to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada understood. I was so very proud of my position. That's why Prabhupada did not even look at me. So therefore, we should not become proud. As it is said, we should not be proud of the borrowed plumes. Whatever we have is given by Krishna. So therefore, Brahmaji is praying, please protect me from ego. And then he says, please save me from any deviation. In the course of manifesting all your energies, I may get deviated. I may get deviated from the Vedic principles. Please protect me. So therefore, it is Maya's job to distract us. It is our responsibility to guard against all the distractions. And today's age, all this social media, gadgets, WhatsApp, Facebook, politics, cricket, huge sources of distraction are available for everyone. So we have to be really careful not to get distracted. And then, as Brahmaji is praying, he sees that actually Lord is sleeping as Garbhodaksha Vishnu and Anant Shesh. So then this verse on the slide, this is the prayer which we recite every day in our temple, in all the temples, to wake up the Lord. Subah mein, when the Lord is woken up, he's woken up with this prayer. So sa vadabra bhagavan karuno bhagavan vividha prema smitena nayanam buruham vijrimbhan utthaya vishwa vijayaya chano vishadam madhya gira panyatat purusha puranaha. So this is a prayer to wake up the Lord. So Brahmaji is saying, oh my Lord, you are unlimitedly merciful. Adabra karuna. Adabra karuna means unlimitedly merciful Lord. And then prema smitena, by your loving glances, nayana amburuham vijrimban, please bestow your glance of mercy on me by opening your lotus eyes. Utthaya vishwa vijayaya chano vishadam. Utthaya, oh my Lord, get up. Please rise. And you can uplift this entire world also. Vishwa vijayaya. Vishwa vijayaya means you can uplift the entire world. Chano vishadam madhvya gira panyatat. Madhvya gira panyatat means how Lord uplifts the world? By giving his instructions. So the instructions given by the Lord, they can uplift the whole world. Purusha Puranaha, you are the Supreme Lord, the oldest of everyone. So therefore Brahmaji prays And then after offering all the prayers, Brahmaji becomes silent. And then after this, the Lord speaks deep, thoughtful words. And this is the whole reply of Supreme Lord to Brahmaji. So Supreme Lord says, "Oh Brahmaji, do not be anxious. Whatever you have asked me is already granted to you. You prayed to preserve your wisdom will be preserved. Whatever you have requested will be accomplished by my mercy. Please continue this tapasya. Continue this knowledge. This knowledge and tapasya gives shelter to the devotees. Devotees can attain perfection and mercy of the Lord by doing this tapasya and by acquiring this wisdom, acquiring this knowledge." And then Supreme Lord says that this transcendental vision of a devotee can help him to become absorbed in Krishna. And by this vision, by the process of bhakti, the devotee will become free from all the sinful reactions. And he can attain the Lord by giving up all this bodily conception. And then in 34th verse, Krishna says, by serving the devotees and by serving me, you will get mercy. So service attracts mercy. Service to the devotees attracts mercy of the Lord. We discussed earlier also that when the knowledge becomes realization by serving the devotees of the Lord. We discussed in the first canto also. Prabhupada writes, by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of devotee, the mercy of Lord is obtained. And by the mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord's devotee is obtained. So therefore, Krishna, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is saying that by service, you will get more mercy. Chota bada bhaktagan bando sabha sri charan sabhe more kara santosh. Shri Swarupa Gosaiyat Rupa Raghunat Janiyat Tai Likhi Nahi Mora Dosh. Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Chota bada bhaktagan, I offer my obeisances to each and every devotee. Bando sabha sri charan, I offer my obeisances to each and every devotee. Sabhe more kara santosh. Please give mercy. Only by your mercy I can write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So therefore, Lord is saying that don't worry, this Rajogun will not bind you, because creation means Rajogun. But then Lord says, because you are fixed on me, this passion will not bind you. So therefore, it is very, very important to focus on Krishna. Mam anusmara yudhyacha. When we are doing our direct activities of Krishna consciousness, our hearing and chanting and reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, how much focused we are, how much attentive we are, that decides our thought process, that decides our mindset when we are doing other things in our life. So therefore, when we are doing direct activities of Krishna consciousness, we have to be really focused. We have to try our best. Then we will not be bound by Rajogun. And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu says, if you are serving in this way, then whatever is required, it will be known to you. There is no need for you to be so much anxious. Whatever is required will be known to you. Don't worry. Jeva nahi bujhe keha shunite shunite seha kiyad bhuta chaitanya charita. Krishna upaji bepriti jani berasera riti shuni lei bada hoye hita. Kaviraj Goswami says, even if somebody does not understand anything in Chaitanya Charitamrita, don't worry. ये भा नहीं बुझे, कुछ बूझ नहीं रहा है, कुछ समझ नहीं रहा है. Still, shunite shunite seha, keep hearing Bhagavatam, keep reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna upaji bepriti jani berasera riti. By regular chanting and hearing, one will automatically understand. All the imports of the Vedas will be revealed automatically. So there is no need to be in anxiety. Ye nahi pata mere ko, ye nahi pata mere ko. I don't know all these philosophy. Don't worry. Just keep serving, trying your best. Whatever is required will be revealed to you. So therefore, he's saying, Lord Vishnu is saying, I am pleased by your prayers. and all your desires will be fulfilled. Don't worry about that. And then he says that I am the dearmost of all. I am the personality who is supposed to be served and pleased. I am the ultimate goal of all the living entities. Therefore, all the activities should be performed for my satisfaction. I am the ultimate dearmost object. Therefore, please follow my instructions and create this universe. And then after this, saying this, the Lord disappeared. So this is the end of the 9th chapter. And then the 10th chapter is entitled by Srila Prabhupada as the divisions of the creation. So in this chapter, there are various creations, types of creations which are described. There is Sarga, we have discussed many times. Sarga means the creation by Lord. Visarga means secondary creation by Brahma. So in this chapter, there are 10 types of creation which will be described by Vidura. So in this chapter, Vidura asks Maitreya that, "Oh Maitreya, how did Brahma create the bodies of the living entities from his own body and the mind? Kindly eradicate my doubts." This is the question. How did Brahma create all the living entities? So now Maitreya, he starts replying. He says that Brahmaji, as he was born, he meditated on the Lord for 100 celestial years. And then as he was meditating, he saw he saw only two things. He saw that lotus and the water, they are both trembling very fast because there was a great violent wind. And then Brahmaji, he started meditating all the more strongly and he acquired knowledge. He drank the wind and the water also. And then he saw the lotus because the water was all the way up. So he drank all the water and then he could see the lotus on which he was sitting. And then after seeing the lotus, he thought, from this lotus, I will create all the planets as they were before destruction. So it is a very important point to understand. All these 14 planetary systems, they are formed from this lotus leaf, lotus stem, and this lotus, So this is a very important thing to understand. There is lots of confusion. Arey lotus kidhar gaya, So lotus abhi dikhta nahi hai. The lotus which came from the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu and the stem and the lotus leaf and the lotus, where is that? So actually Brahmaji, he used this lotus, and from the ingredients of this lotus, Brahmaji created all these 14 planetary systems. From the lotus leaf, he created Bhumandala, and the stem and the lotus, he created all the upper 7 planetary systems. And this Bhumandala means all the lower 6 planetary systems also. So therefore, Brahmaji, he entered in the whirl of this lotus and was divided into 3 divisions. He divided the lotus into 3 divisions. And then he created these 14 planetary systems from this lotus only. So that is very important information to understand. And all this was revealed to him because he was engaged in serving Krishna. Because service transforms information into realization. So then, after this, because Maitreya had spoken many times about time, So Vidura asks, please describe me the symptoms of the eternal time. So before this creation topic starts, Vidura asks about creation of time. So in short, Maitreya describes the characteristics of time in 4 verses. From 11th to 13th verses, Maitreya describes the characteristics of time. And tomorrow we'll be seeing this time in great detail. That is the 11th chapter. So he says that, this time is the source of the interaction of the modes. And this time lacks attributes. It is imperceptible. It is limitless, without beginning, without an end. It is the cause. It is an instrumental cause. It separates the material energy from the Lord. Because of the influence of the time, this universe gets divided into various planetary systems. This time is the unmanifested personal feature of the Lord. Kalosmi. Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Kalo asmi. Time I am. Bhishmadev also had said, Sarvam kalagritam manye bhavatam chayadapriyam. Everything is done by time. That time is standing in front of you as Krishna. So Maitreya is clarifying, confirming. This time is the impersonal feature of the Lord. And because of this time, all the universe, they are created. So then after describing this time in short, in general, Maitreya now starts description of the process of creation, and in detail he'll describe in the next chapter. So Maitreya says that there are 10 types of creation, 6 primary, 3 secondary, and 1 mixed. As you can see in this slide, there are 6 primary creations, 3 secondary creations, and 1 mixed creation. So we'll see what is all this. So primary creation we have seen many times. Second canto 2 times we have seen. Third canto also once we have seen. That is how all the ingredients they come up. So we'll see again. What is secondary creation? Secondary creation is the creation by Brahma. And there is something called mixed creation. And that is called Devatas. So what is all that? We'll see. So in this 14th verse, along with describing this creation, Maitreya Muni describes that there are 3 types of destruction also. One destruction happens at the end of Brahmaji's life. Second destruction happens at the end of Brahma's day. And third destruction is the destruction of the body, this body at the time of death. So he says that, because of the Kala, this eternal time, the universes get destroyed. That is the end of Brahmaji's life. When Brahmaji dies, this entire universe gets destroyed. At the end of Brahma's day, all the lower planetary systems up to Maharlok, they become, destroyed by the fire of Sankarshana and other factors. Sometimes fire comes, sometimes water rises, different things. And then third is destruction, is the destruction of this body. So now, these are the 6 types of primary creation. So primary creation we have seen many times. We have seen that first there is a dravya which comes from the pores of Mahavishnu. Supreme Lord glances on it. By the glance, the dravya gets impregnated with jiva, kala, karma, and swabhava and gets transformed into mahatattva. And mahatattva, because of the interaction of the modes, first it becomes pradhana and then mahatattva. And then because of the interaction of the modes, ahankar comes up. Ahankar, under the influence of the various modes, gets transformed into all the material ingredients and the knowledge and the actions, dravya, jnana, and kriya. And then from these things, various tanmatras, the sense objects come, then the indriyas, the senses come, then the sense devatas come, So we discussed about this mixed creation. Devatas, they are mixed creation because devatas, they are found by Krishna directly also, Garbhodaksha Vishnu directly also, and devatas, they are created by Brahmaji also. These are the 6 primary creations. And then there are 4 secondary creations. Secondary creation is called Vaikrita or Visarga. So in this secondary creation, which is done by Brahmaji, what all is created? So the 6th, these are the 6 creations: Mahatattva, Ahankara, Tanmatras, Indriyas, Devatas, and Tamas. Then 7th is immovable jivas or plants. So the plants, they have the characteristic, they are conscious, but the consciousness is not evident. Their nourishment is from foot to top, because plants are called padapa. They eat from their feet. So from their digestive system is down upward, and they also feel pain, and they have unlimited varieties. These varieties are of 6 types basically. Vanaspati. What is Vanaspati? Vanaspati means without flowers but having fruits. Then there is something called Aushadhi. These are called annual plants. And then there is something called Lata. Lata means plants that need support. All very wonderful description. Whatever botany, if somebody has read, the Bhagavatam has all the scriptures, has everything. Then there is something called Tvaksara. Tvaksara means hollow plants like bamboos. And then there is something called Virudha. Virudha means the stiff trunk. They don't need support. And there is something called Druma. Druma means they give fruits through flowers. That means they are flowering plants. So there are Vanaspati, then Aushadhi, then Lata, then Tvaksara, then Virudha and Druma. These are 7th creation, plants. Then, and there is one characteristic, they eat from their feet. Their digestive system is ulta. नीचे से खाते हैं और ऊपर उनका ये excretion ऊपर है. Then there are animals. Their digestive system is horizontal. You see any animal, horizontal nourishment. From mouth to the excretory part, all the horizontal. So animals, they have no concept of future and liberation. They cannot think of this. They are just thinking of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's all. They understand their needs by smell. Very amazing. How Bhagavatam describes. Amazing. Animals, they always smell things. And they understand, okay, ye sahi hai, ye galat hai, ye khana hai, ye nahi khana hai, by smell. And there are 28 types. And these 28 types are divided into 4 classes. 2-hoofed, 1-hoofed, 2-hoofed, 1-hoofed, 5-clawed, and birds. It's like that. And then human beings. Human beings' nourishment is downward, upside down. We eat and then excrete from the lower part. They are very passionate, dedicated to work, and they think themselves happy even in distress. That is an amazing part about humans. Dukhi hoenge phir bhi nahi khush hai. There is only one type of humans. And then demigods. There are 8 types. Who are the demigods? Vibhuda, Pitris, Asuras, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Siddha, Charana, Vidyadhara, Bhuta, Preta, Pishacha. So all these are secondary creation. So these devatas, they are called mixed creation. So 6 primary, 3 secondary, and 1 mixed. Devatas, they are mixed because they are created from Krishna directly, also from Ahankar in Sattoguna. Devatas are found, and they are created by Brahmaji also. That's why they are called mixed creation. And then after that, for example, creation of Kumaras. Maitreya says, these Kumaras, 4 Kumaras, they are mixed creation. How they are mixed? Because they are created by Brahma. How they are mixed? Because Brahma created them after meditating on the Lord. So that's why both Brahma and Lord are involved. Therefore, Kumaras are mixed creation. So whenever Lord is involved, it is primary creation. Whenever Devatas are, Brahmaji is involved, it is secondary creation. So Devatas are produced by Lord directly and Brahmaji also. So therefore it is called mixed creation. Now after hearing all these creations, Vidura says, please tell me, let me know about, Maitreya is saying, please let me describe about Manvantaras and Vamsha. Manvantara and Vamsha. And here the chapter ends. So all this is technical details. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay. Okay, the question is, I just said 394 says that Mayavadis who believe in formless God go to hell. But I heard that they all get liberation. No, it is not the case. They don't get liberation, they go to hell. There's a difference between Mayavadis and Brahmavadis. Mayavadis means they reject the form of the Lord. Brahmavadis means they do not reject the form of the Lord, but they are attracted to impersonal Brahman more than personal form. Just like Shukdev Goswami was a Brahmavadi. Tasya putro mahayogi samdrin nirvikamplaka ekant madir unnidro gudho mudh iveyate. He was completely absorbed in monism. So what is that monism? Monism means impersonal Brahman. But Shukdev Goswami was not a Mayavadi. He knew that Lord has a personal form, but he was more attracted to the impersonal form. Just like four Kumaras. Four Kumaras were Brahmavadis. When they smelled the beautiful aroma from the lotus feet of the Lord, they got transformed. So there is a beautiful verse which says that when they went to Vaikuntha and they smelled the beautiful aroma, they become transformed. Sankshobham akshar jisham apichitta tanvoh. So when they smelled the beautiful aroma of the tulsi which is offered on the lotus feet of the Lord, their whole senses got agitated. So that is a difference we have to be really clear with. Brahmavadis, they do not reject the form of the Lord. They get liberation into Sayujya Mukti. Mayavadis, because they reject the form of the Lord, they go to hell, like that. So this Brahmaji drank all the water is there in the there's a direct verse, which says Brahmaji drank all the water and the air. So there is a direct verse in the Bhagavatam. I can tell you the verse number also. That is 3:10:6, like that. No, tamas is not. The question is, ignorance is produced by Brahmaji, so why it comes under primary creation? Does the Lord also? Yes, actually, tamas is created by Supreme Lord only, the ignorance. And Brahmaji also has a secondary creation as tamas. That we'll discuss in the 20th chapter of this third canto. That Brahmaji also created 5 types of tamas. Tamishra, Andhatamishra and all that. So that we'll discuss. But this ignorance is also created by Supreme Lord. It is primary creation. Ghosts come under the category of demigod. Do the ghosts? No, ghosts are not there in this category, no? Okay, so these bhuta, pishachas and pretas, they are not the ordinary ghosts which we hear about. They are also very, they have much more powers than humans, So they are also higher beings than humans. They have also more powers than humans. That's why they are included, and they stay on the upper planetary systems. Our is Bhuvar Loka. Above Bhuvar Loka is Swara Lok, Mahara Lok, Bhu, Bhuva, Swarg. Then Mahara Lok, Jana Lok, Tapa Lok, and then Satya Lok. So all these bhuta, pishachas, and pretas, they also live in the Bhuvar Loka, And in between also there are some planetary systems where these people live. They have much more powers than humans. So we are the lowest in terms of powers. Even the lower planetary people, they have much more power. Sensory and bodily, they have mystic powers also. Even in the Bhumandala, our Bhukhanda, Bharat Khanda, is the only place where we are getting troubled with all this hunger, thirst, and all these problems of the world. This is not there in any of the other places in Bharatvarsha. That is the luxury for us, because this is the very, very ideal place to practice bhakti. Nayatra Vaikuntha Katha Sudhapagana Sadhavo Bhagavata Stadashraya Nayatra Yagyesh Makhama Hotsava Suresh Loko Pinavaisha Sevyatam. So it is said that the place where Krishna Katha is not going on, the place where devotees are not glorifying Krishna, the place there are not festivals for Krishna which are celebrated, I do not want to stay at that place, even if it is heaven. Suresh Loko Pinavaisha Sevyatam. So this Bharat Khanda means this planet, this earth is the most suitable place to practice bhakti. It is much more favorable to practice bhakti. We cannot practice bhakti in this heaven also because there is so much of sense gratification, like that. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.